Hey, welcome to the channel. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Abigail. I share my knowledge and my skills and my wisdom about narcissistic abuse and my journey of healing and transformation. I'm also super spiritual, so if you're new here, I'm super happy you're here. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Attack on Titan, one of the best animes ever. I've been watching that anime since I was really young. So way too young to be watching it, actually. But as I've watched it so many times over the years, I learned more and more. And so there is a lesson about malice in Attack on Titan that I want to share with you guys. It's in season 4, so if you haven't seen season 4 and you don't want to be spoiled, then don't watch this video. But even though I recommend you do. But so in Attack on Titan season 1, there is when Eren, Mikasa, and Armin are training to become soldiers. They're in the cadet corps, I think. Yeah, cadet corps. And they have to test out their omnidirectional mobility gear. So they're learning how to use the omnidirectional mobility gear on these poles and trying to balance. And every time Eren uses his omnidirectional mobility gear, he falls on his head, and he's like, he falls on his head, and so each time he tries, and he feels like there's something wrong with him, and he's trying so hard to he's asking his friends for help to teach him how to use the omnidirectional gear, and he has no fucking clue how to do it, and he's can't understand why, and he's really kind of upset because he really wants to be a soldier. He has a burning passion and fire to become a soldier and free humanity from the Titans. That's his burning passion. And so the fact that he can't do this omnidirectional mobility gear is this could threaten his entire dream, so it's big. And finally he ends up doing it for his final test, and on the poles with the omnidirectional mobility gear, and he gets it, and he does it perfectly, and it's and everyone's and everyone's happy, and he's happy. And then in season 4, we get the actual we get to it's revealed, the truth is revealed about what actually happened. I don't know if you caught this, but at some time they're having this meeting with Keith Sadie's, the Cadet Corps leader, because he knew Eren's dad, Grisha. And so they're meeting with him, and he's telling a story about how he actually sabotaged Eren. And it's really cool. So it's not cool to sabotage people, but I think this shit is cool because I'm an analyst, okay? Alright, so alright, so Keith admits that he actually tampered with the gear and made it so that it wouldn't work to sabotage Eren. And so this whole time, Eren was thinking that there was something wrong with him, and he was trying so hard to fix something about him, and why he couldn't do it. And he wasn't the problem. Keith motherfucking Sadie's messed with his gear. And this is a beautiful metaphor for you on your spiritual journey and your narcissistic abuse healing journey, because, narcissistic abuse healing is pretty spiritual, right? We were in the age of Pisces. That's the narcissist age. So but yeah, so it's really important for you to understand on your spiritual journey, because there's probably have been times in your life, if you're a survivor, where you've been sabotaged for something, convinced that you were the problem, convinced that it was all your fault, and tried your best, and maybe you never succeeded. Eren ended up succeeding, but maybe you never succeeded, and you've held this illusion in your consciousness the whole time that it was your fault, that there was just something wrong with you. But this whole time there was this truth that could have been revealed. And the beautiful thing about this is the truth is always revealed if you're willing. Your spirit guides, the universe, it helps you to reveal truth, your intuition. Everyone has this skill. Don't let people gatekeep this, okay? Everyone has this ability to raise their consciousness and reveal truth. Everybody does, okay? And so, yeah, it's really cool. But anyways, so, and then the psychology of Keith is actually really interesting too, because he shares, from an honest place, that his motivation to sabotage Eren was because he was jealous. he saw something in Eren. He saw this like light in Eren and this passion in Eren that he didn't have himself. And we see Eren carries out that light and that passion throughout the whole show, where he fights for truth and freedom and justice. Like, this is controversial, but I truly think Eren was not divine, but like the only one fighting for true freedom and integrity. Like, he refused to, in the end, he refused to be passive and just die passively to the whole world. He refused that for the sake of freedom and actual change. Right? Because in Attack on Titan, the problem was never the Titans. It was never the power that was the problem. It was how people used that power. It was the fact that people wanted to take that power from the Eldians, so they enslaved them. And so deleting the Titans doesn't get rid of abuse, doesn't get rid of people abusing their power. You know what I mean? The Titans are just a scapegoat for the actual problem. People who abuse their power. People who are greedy. You know? And so Eren, like, throughout the series, he works through this, like, fucking... It's like his goal is to free Ymir, that little girl in the paths, who was bound to the king. So she's in the past, she's bound. And everything he did, every choice he made was for true freedom, to free that trauma bond. Yeah. I don't have another video about this, but yeah. So, anyway, so Keith saw that light and saw that passion in Eren that he didn't have. He saw that specialness. It's like he sensed that Eren was going to do something really beautiful with his life, and he had that fire that Keith didn't have, and that jealousy kind of comes from Keith's own decisions, right? Keith never decided to fight for freedom. You know, Keith probably abused his power at some time, and he was quite a cruel, a little bit like harsh kind of dude, you know? And that kind of harshness dims your light, you know? Cruelty, it dims your light. Dims your light. And like, yeah. So, but yeah. So Keith admits that he saw that in him. And it was like, Keith just wanted to be special. He wanted to be special. And so he sabotaged Eren. And, yeah. And so this is also a lesson in right action. So narcissistic people, I talk about this a lot on this channel, so subscribe if you want to know more. But narcissistic people, they tend to take actions to get what they want that are not the right actions. You know, like if you want to be like special, or if like you want to have like a big purpose or a big mission, or like do beautiful big things in the world, if you want to do that, the action to take is not to sabotage someone. You know what I mean? Like, the action to take is not to mess with someone's omnidirectional mobility gear. You know? It doesn't make any sense, right? So, like, by sabotaging Eren, the energy he put out into the universe was, like, his own sabotage of his own success and the desire that he really wanted for himself. And, so, yeah, overall, this whole kind of... all these events are, like, a really beautiful lesson for you in, like, narcissistic consciousness and how it works. It's like, they convince you something's wrong with you that's not wrong with you. You try so hard to fix it, but nothing was actually wrong with you. There was some, like, other motive or other factor that you weren't seeing. And then narcissists, you know, they think there's something wrong with them, and it's the same thing. There's some other motive and factor they're not seeing. They're not seeing that they're just not taking the right action, that there's nothing wrong with you. Let that sink in. There's nothing wrong with you. Nothing. And when you really like integrate that, you're on your path to freedom, baby. To freedom. But yeah, this is Keith, Sadie's, and Malice, and yeah, it's kind of cool because like I want people to know as well that like, you know, people do this and they have their psychological reasons, and it's unexcusable and it's unacceptable, right? Like, it wasn't right for Keith to do that, and but like, I want you to know that, like, people do act like that. You know, we gotta be, like, aware of these things. You know, if we really want to protect ourselves, like, we have to be willing to see the truth. We gotta. That's the only way we can protect ourselves, right? Or else we just get distracted trying to fix ourselves and stay in these loops that wouldn't be unavoidable if we saw the truth, you know? So yeah. But was there anything else? Was there any other lessons about Keith? Oh yeah, and then there was another part where, so during this whole incident, Armin actually had a intuitive kind of like questioning of what was going on. So Armin noticed something was wrong about Aaron's gear. Armin noticed something going on, and Armin was like exceptionally intelligent, and he, in that moment when Keith like admitted that, he realized that he was right. It's like his intuition actually told him, and his pattern recognition actually told him like something was off and something was going wrong, and he ignored it. And had he not ignored that, well, who knows what would have happened. But had he not ignored that, he would have seen the truth. That there was some like other kind of corruption going on. Because that's corruption, right? Like sabotaging someone, like, damn, that's slimy, dude. What? That's slimy, and it's not the right action. If you feel jealous of someone, look for the right action. Sabotaging, harming, never gonna be the right action. And that just creates jealousy. Like, when you sabotage and harm people, it literally creates a character that is jealous. Like, your character, your personality, that is jealous. So, yeah.